Good evening. My name is Jill Lilly, and I am one of the co-coordinators for Center County, Pennsylvania.
And my name is Holly Wright, and I am also a co-coordinator for ACAP Central Pennsylvania.
I would like to share a little bit of information about ACAP with you to begin with. If you can bear with me for just a second. Okay. So, welcome to ACAP. We're happy to have you this evening. ACAP is a collaboration of local chapters in North Carolina and Pennsylvania, but we are growing. ACAP was begun in North Carolina and now has local chapters in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. And they offer educational programs each month. And although specifically designed for adult children of aging parents, the programs are open to everyone. ACAP offers information and support to adult children of aging parents as they care for them and for themselves. Typically, ACAP programs are in person. However, during COVID, we're offering the educational programs online. Recently, all the chapters agreed together with our national leadership that we will collaborate on our programming. So if you're in one of our databases, you'll still get monthly reminders and still sign into the presentation each month through either Zoom or YouTube Live. But the program you join may be coming from any of our other chapters. We definitely are looking forward to being back together again. If you would miss a program, maybe want to share it with a friend, go to that chapter's website or the ACAP website to find the video link. And if you would like to be in our database and receiving information about ACAP, including when the next presentations will be, go to acapcommunity.org. If there's a chapter in your area, click on that local chapter. In the drop-down list, click on your local chapter, and to receive program invites, click on Contact Us. Provide your name and email address. If there's not a chapter near you, take a look around to learn more about ACAP. Again, make sure if you're interested in getting program invites to click on the Contact Us tab in the ACAP community website. Give us your contact information and let us know you'd like to receive those monthly reminders. We have currently 4 chapters in North Carolina. We are growing. If you think a chapter could be meaningful for your community, please let us know. Just send us your contact information through the Contact Us page on the ACAP community website. And just so you know, this information you provide to us is for our use only. We respect your privacy. Your email will be used only for ACAP so you can receive notices of upcoming programs. We will never share your information with anyone else. Good information is global, caring is local. Thank you to our sponsors. We have a number of core sponsors in Center County: Penn State Health, Foxdale Village, Grain Hospice Care, Home Instead, Juniper, and Encompass Health. And we also thank our monthly sponsor, which is Foxdale Village. In Guilford County, they have 2 core sponsors, Griswold Home Care and Providence Place, and they have a chapter sponsor, Mount Zion of Greensboro. We thank them very, very much for the support. We couldn't do it without them. We have some upcoming programs. Next month, it's Knowing Your Limits as a Caregiver, Setting Boundaries and Balancing Family. That's June the 14th, and it will be virtual. Our speaker is a holistic health practitioner. Then the following month is Help in Your Own Backyard, Choosing and Using Services in Your Community. That's July the 12th at 5:30. And our speaker is Quentin Birchfield, who's the director of the Center County Office of Aging. And with him is Brandy Luce. Here are some of the upcoming programs with our sister chapters. Feel free to log in there and learn what they have to offer. We very much thank you for joining us tonight, and I think we will pass this back over to Holly, if
All
I
right.
can get that.
Yes, and thank you. All right. And tonight we have Danielle. Danielle's with Foxdale, and she's going to demonstrate and talk to us about stretching and exercising. So thank you, Danielle, and we'll let you take it away.
Hey, you're welcome. So my name's Danielle Duval. Guys, can you tell me real quick, am I centered? Because it keeps jumping around and I'm...
No, you're off a little bit.
Okay.
The other way. There you go.
Okay,
Right there.
thank you, because I wasn't sure with the... Good. Okay, so I'm Danielle Duval. I'm the supervisor of wellness programs at Foxdale Village. I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of stretching, kind of some of the stuff that we birthed program-wise during the pandemic, and it kind of stuck. Like it was good stuff. So let's just talk about the importance of range of motion, or the importance of stretching. Anytime you hurt a limb, have surgery on a limb, the first step to getting well is getting the range of motion back. It's so important. You function fully when you have full range of motion, and you can't even really build strength until you get full range of motion. So stretching is really important. It's just the building block of getting function back and getting life back anytime you have an injury. So first step in building function back. And then I think a lot of people don't realize that it's one of your biggest components of balance, especially ankle mobility. We can come from the ground up, ankle, knee, hip, low back. Those are your lines of where you need flexibility to be able to even walk well. So we really need to keep all of that functioning well, biggest range of motion possible, to have good balance and be able to walk well in life. So I was talking about things that we did during the pandemic. We were able to, we have a television network at Foxdale, a closed chain television network, and we were able to record stretching sessions and put them on the televisions, and we did like one for each day. And a lot of our residents contacted us and said, hey, we're doing that at 11 o'clock, but is there any way that we could have like a 5-minute stretch at the top of every hour? Because, you know, doing a lot of sitting. And so we were able to create, we actually do it every 2 hours, but we created these stretch routines throughout the day, and they pop on during their television time, and people just do a stretch routine right in their apartments every 2 hours. And it's been a hit, and we've decided to, backed by popular demand, keep that rolling into the future. We freshen them up every once in a while so people don't get bored. But ironically, people like kind of have their favorites, and we can't change it too much unless they ask. Another thing we did during the pandemic was we went into healthcare, our assisted living and our skilled unit, and anybody who wanted to walk and stretch, we did that with them twice a week to make sure, we still had our therapy going in, but anybody who wanted to maintain, we were able to walk and stretch with them with the exercise team. And that really helped. That helped mentally, and that helped physically. We were able to keep people strong through the pandemic. So stretching can be really easy. I know it can sometimes feel, as I see people as they come out of therapy, they sometimes feel intimidated by, you get a 2, 3, 4 list sheet of exercises or homework to do on your own. And, and it'll be like, here, hold this for 30 seconds, 10 times. And it just absorbs a lot of time. And it doesn't have to be like that. Because then I feel like it feels like another job, and they don't feel like they can get it done, especially as they get better. But what happens a lot of times then is you still have, right, muscles and nerves have underlying injuries that kind of stick. And if we go back to our daily lives and don't focus on keeping those stretched and strong, then those things are always kind of, oh, it's my bad hip. Oh, it's my bad knee. And we need to keep feeding them range of motion and keep feeding them strength. But it can be fun, and it doesn't have to be a full-time job or feel like a full-time job. It can be fun, even though you still have to stay focused on it. So I was going to run us through a short stretching routine that can be really gentle, but still effective. If you want to try it, I'm going to use 2 chairs that are sturdy, and then I'm going to use an AirX pad. You can think about a thick cushion off a chair. It's to put your knees on, and it's actually to stretch your ankle on. So again, 2 sturdy chairs and a thick cushion. That's what I'm going to be using to stretch, and that's it. I have a little whiteboard lesson that I want to talk about for stretching. The first is the golden rule. The golden rule in stretching is whatever you do to the front side, do to the back side. So if you're going to stretch the front of your hip, stretch the back of your hip. If you're going to stretch the right hip, stretch the left hip. So the golden rule is whatever you do to the front, do to the back, and whatever you do to one side, do to the other. So we want balance. And then at the same time, if you've had an injury, the stiff side gets one more. So if we do a hip piriformis stretch, and one side you can barely cross your leg over to get that stretch, you're going to do it on that side, then you're going to do it on the easy side, and then you're going to come back and feed the stiff side one more so we can make progress on that side. And then the next is explore the movement. So if I can, I'll show you that when we do the stretching, but if we do again, a seated piriformis stretch, which tends to be sit in the chair, cross one leg over, and then you can add some rocking to that. You can rock forward, back, you can rock diagonally, you can do hip circles, and you can do that in most stretches. So in most stretches, once you get it there and you hold it a little bit, explore the movement. And then what I get asked a lot of time is frequency. When you're coming out of a pain cycle, if something flared up, I like to say, do it. If something aches or it feels like you have to stretch it, do it several times a day, because it'll tell you it needs to do that several times a day. I'll have people who will walk and they'll have, again, piriformis tends to be piriformis and SI nerve, give you that pain across the front of your thigh, down the back of your leg when you're trying to take a walk. And a lot of times, just finding the nearest chair and stretching your piriformis muscle can help you go even further. So stretch it when it feels like it needs stretched, and then do some more. When you're in a flare up and that nerve or that muscle is talking to you, stretch it several times a day. If it's not talking to you, your maintenance workout should be several times a week. That should usually, once you're out of a pain cycle or once you have things at bay, a couple times a week for a muscle group will get you there. So let's go through it one more time. Golden rule. If you do it to the front, do it to the back. If you do it to the right side, do it to the left side. And then the +1 rule is stiff side gets one more. I want you to explore ranges of motion within the stretch. It's very playful and fun. Kind of helps keep it fresh. How often? Several times a day if you're in a pain cycle, several times a week for maintenance if you're not in a pain cycle. All right, guys, that should have given you enough time to go ahead and get your 2 chairs and your cushion surface. So we're going to just start into a stretch routine.
And Danielle, I'd like to invite people, if they have questions, to go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll address them. And so far, Karen already mentioned that really great tips so far. So keep it up, Danielle.
Thank you.
And anybody has questions, just post and we'll make sure Danielle knows those questions and she'll address them as they pop up.
Thank you. And if you could let me know if I'm too far away that my voice isn't.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, because I want to be able to like see everything, but still be able to be heard. All right, guys, we're going to just start on a chair. I'm going to have you lean back and slide your hips forward a little, and you're just going to start marching. And this march is right here for the top of the quadriceps that goes through to your low back. These big muscles right here, these 4 big muscles attach to your sacrum. They attach to your lumbar spine. So even though we're marching our legs, we're actually helping to warm up our back. And that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. You can do that in a pretty simple position. We're going to do just a few more. And then we're going to engage our core muscles even more. And I just want you to start to rock forward, back, rock forward, back. When you rock back, go ahead and let your back feel the chair. You can put your hand right on your abdomen and feel your core muscles engaging. We're going to do a few more. And then we're going to slide our hips to the front of the seat. And I want you to start to stretch your legs out to the side to start to stretch your hip adductors, your inner thighs. Couple more. One more each side, and then we're going to slide back and repeat it one more time. All right, so I want you to go hips to the back of the chair, then lean back and slide your hips halfway front. That sets your back, that sets your spine in a really safe position. And we're going back into those high knee marches, working that hip flexor running through your body to your lumbar spine. See ya. 5 more. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. Both feet down. We're going to go back to those core muscles. If that's too hard, go ahead and pull in the arms of the chair. You'll probably get this pretty easy though. A little bit of core rocking. And then I want you to slide to the front of your chair and start that step out again. And this time I want you to focus on, remember I said explore the motion? You're going to start to rock your shoulders the opposite way that the leg goes. A little more core engagement, a little bigger range of motion for the hip. We'll do a few more. And then we're going to get into a meat and potatoes stretch. Here we go. This is that piriformis stretch that I referred to earlier. So many people have had to work on this in therapy. All right, you're going to cross one leg over. Doesn't matter which. If you cannot get your foot up to your thigh, start with it at your ankle. If you can get it up here, great. I like to hold on to my shin, and then rocking forward back intensifies the stretch. Now, I've absolutely worked with people at so many parts of the spectrum on this stretch. Sometimes just crossing that leg over and leaning back is stretch enough. So you need to meet your body where it's at. You know, give it permission to cross at the ankle there. Give it permission to just cross at the knee and lean back. And then work your way into this rock. All right, we're going to switch legs. Cross the other leg at the ankle or the knee, whichever you can get. Higher is better, but you still need to be able to get there with maybe some discomfort, but not pain. Pain we back out of. All right, guys, we're going to switch legs again. And this time, I want you to rock forward. I'm going to move my hands to the arm of the chair, and I'm just gonna rock side to side. So I'm still stretching my piriformis muscle, but I'm gonna start to get into these obliques and the side of our back. So just hitting different angles here. Get ready, we're gonna switch legs, cross the other leg over, lean forward a little, hands go to the chair just to help you stabilize, and you're gonna explore side to side. So we want this little rock, side to side. So I'm gonna tell you about the piriformis muscle. It goes through your hip, comes out of your tailbone, goes through your hip, and everybody's piriformis is about the size of your own pinky. It is that thick of a muscle bundle. I'm sorry, of a nerve bundle. And hold up, I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. Your nerve bundle goes through, your SI nerve goes through your piriformis muscle, goes through it. So if piriformis gets tight, it cranks on that SI nerve bundle. So it's super important to be able to do these stretches to alleviate nerve pain down your legs. All right, so again, I switch legs. I'm gonna explore a different motion with my upper body. I put my hands on the arms of the chair, and now I'm hula hooping my shoulders, hitting all these different angles through my back, through my hips. Good, reverse that. And then we're gonna balance that out with the other leg. Cross the other leg over. I'm gonna move my hands to the arms of the chair, and I'm gonna hula hoop my shoulders, keeping that leg crossed. Good. Let's reverse that. Good, nice work. All right, bring those feet down. Let's transfer to upper body for a little bit. All I want you to do is reach your arms out wide. If you have a neck injury or shoulder injury, you might want to drop those wrists beneath the shoulder. That might feel a little more comfortable, no problem. And now we're going to twist this big bone, this humerus bone in our shoulder joint. So I want you to turn thumbs down and push back, thumbs up and over and push back. In class, I call these windshield wipers. I want you to windshield wiper your hands, really focusing on that stretching your shoulder, twisting and moving that humeral bone in your shoulder joint. Good job. We're going to crisscross those arms, and I stepped my feet a little wider. I'm going to do a side bend with my back. Okay, back to the center. Reach those arms out again. If they were down here before, you're welcome to go there again. If you can possibly go a little higher, go a little higher, and let's windshield wiper those arms again. And again, remember, focus on feeling this at the shoulder joint, not just the forearm, but at the shoulder. We're going to crisscross the arms, going into our back again. It's a little shoulder tip, side to side. All right, I want to change and explore this motion by making it diagonal. I'm going to tip front over one leg and tip back the other direction. Good, and then I'm going to balance it out, and I'm going to tip front over the opposite leg and tip back through that other shoulder. All right, I want to work on those arms again. See if you can go to high. And then here we go again. Windshield wiper, seeing if you can move that big bone, inserting into the shoulder. All right, we're going to bring those fingertips down to our own shoulders, and we're going to move our elbows front back. When you move them back, I want you to focus on feeling your scapula, feeling your shoulder blades squeeze back. All right, now I'm going to have you move your fingertips up behind your ears. Same thing, we're moving elbows front back. For some reason, if you have hearing aids, this makes them sing. When I do this in a class, when people have hearing aids, you can hear them making a squeal. Okay, bring those fingers down to the shoulders, front back again. Elbows are moving, but that big bone in the shoulder is moving the most. Okay, let's explore this motion. Let's give those a few circles. Let's switch directions with those elbows. We're going to move those fingers up behind the ear and move front back again. Ooh, now just hold those back, and that is work. Our shoulders should be getting tired. We didn't even lift a weight. We moved the weight of the limb. Ooh, bring that down and look, jiggle a little. Jiggling actually helps the nerve. Call it jiggle therapy. All right, nice work, guys. All right, I want to start to work into the back of your leg. So I'm going to turn my chair sideways. Here's where that other chair comes into play. I want you to put another chair in front of you. We're going to get a nice hamstring stretch here. Okay, we're going to put one foot up on the chair. Doesn't matter which, because we're going to do both sides. Can you engage your quadricep and get the back of the knee straight? So here's what I see a lot of variations of, right? Of course, accordion, maybe this hamstring isn't loose enough to do that. And then if it's really tight, the whole leg will rotate out to the side. So you have work to do at any point of that then. I have taken people's feet over to the hand, the armrest of the chair, and put their toe up just to keep it policed up and to help focus just on the hamstring. And then you want to start to focus on them contracting that quadricep and trying to get the back of the knee straight. Best you can is my term I like to use when stretching. Get that foot up if you can, and then create the shape the best you can. Now, sometimes just bringing that leg up is already a hamstring stretch. If it's not enough for you, that's when we start to explore the motion again. Can we rock forward? Could we rock side to side? Could we hula hoop? Explore the motion, whatever you need there, whatever feels best, that's what you need. Now, I want to move this big trochanter head in the hip. So I'm going to make sure my foot's in the middle of the chair, and I'm going to start to windshield wiper that foot. And just like when we moved our arms, I want you to focus on moving the whole way up here in the hip joint. We're polishing the top of that bone when we move that foot in and out. Let's do a few more. And then we're going to go ahead and switch legs. Let's get the other leg up on the chair. If everything's tight and it wants to rotate out, slide it over and let it rest up against the arm of the chair so it polices the toe upright. See if you can engage the quadricep and kind of get that leg pressed down, hamstring getting as straight as you can get it. And then if you have a little more range of motion in you, start exploring that upper body rock side to side, or that hula hoop, whatever you need, what feels best for you. Remember, if you hula hoop one way, hula hoop the other though. All right, I want you to slide that foot to the middle of the chair, and then we're polishing the top of this big bone, this femur bone. It's called your trochanter head. You're windshield wipering that foot in and out. All right, nice work. Now, get both legs up there. All right, so this can strengthen our hip flexor here. Could we engage our hip flexors in our core and get our back to come off the chair? Could we get some daylight there? The answer might be no way, and that's fine. But if you can, I want you to use those core muscles and hip flexors. Come on up and sit tall. Let's see if we can engage some shoulders. Okay, we're gonna make the letter L, so an L sit. And we wanna hold it a few seconds. And then we're gonna relax back. Now, crossover stretch. We're gonna go one hand to one foot, one hand to opposite foot, best we can. If that means we're crossing at the knee, we're crossing at the knee, no problem. If we're crossing at the ankle, fine. Ooh, if you can slide it to the outside of the foot, awesome. Get what you can get here. All right, I want you to relax back again. Let's think about the letter L again. Here we go. Can we engage through the core and bring our back off the back of the chair? Can we reach our arms up? Hold it. Good. Relax back. And here are those crossover stretches. Cross over. Remember, it can be here at the knee. It can be down towards the ankle. Or it could be there past the foot. Whatever you got. Work with that. Now, we're going to leave our feet there a few more seconds. And we're going to focus on the upper body a little bit longer. Good. I want you to reach your arms out wide. Good. I want you to reach up higher. Now, watch what I want. I'm going to bring my hands in. I want you to think about the letter B now. And I'm going to drive up and down, up and down, opening my shoulders. This is really good for your posture. Now, if you want to engage your core a little more, land those hands down towards your feet and then drive up again, tracing the letter V. Give me one more set. Oh, let those shoulders rest. Good job. All right, we're going to bring our feet down. I'm going to bring the RX pad into play. So this should be a cushion. And I want you to put your toes on the cushion and the heel on the floor. And this is called dorsiflexion. My toes are higher than my heels. And I've got some really nice work going on here in the front of my shins. And I'm just going to start to pump my ankles here. Now, this is going to start the range of motion for me. This is going to start the stretch and strengthen. However, to really make this a functional movement, I need to get my body weight applied to it. Because I can start to get the range of motion here, but I want to get my body weight through it ultimately. All right, so that's how I started the movement. And when I want to progress it, I'm going to put my squishy object between the two chairs. Now, people find this, when I first started this exercise and this stretch, when you put your feet like this and you tell your body to stand up, I had people say, I don't think my body works like that. It does, I promise. To start it, you're going to have hands on the seat, and then you're going to come up. You got to squeeze your hips forward. You're getting this really nice calf stretch. A lot of times you're given this in therapy and you drop your heel off a stair. I find this to be a little more functional because it gets to relax the the Achilles tendon and the calf get to relax into this stretch, and you can still feel the front of that shin working really hard. That's where you get a really nice balance gain. All right, we're gonna sit down. Okay, let's do that again. Ready? Push up. Squeeze forward through your hips. Go ahead and sit down. Good. Come up again. Let's explore the motion here. This is called side glide. I want you to glide your hips side to side without letting them go backwards. So not backwards, but hips squeezing forward, and then just a little glide of the hips side to side to catch the different angles of the calf. Okay, let's hula hoop hips here. Let's circle those hips and get more angles of the calf. Let's switch directions with our hula hoop. And then we're going to go ahead and lower back down to the chair. I'm going to reach my hands back and lower. Listen, you really can progress this to not needing your hands. So your next progression would be hands on thighs to push up and down. You're really safe between these two chairs, right? Or you just come up. You're going to need your hands to counterbalance forward, but you still can get this, can work this to not really needing the arms of the chair ultimately. Okay, let's stand back up. Let's go into a heel raise here, where we stretch up and stretch down. I'm going to readjust my foot on the pillow because it was tipping. At home, I don't have an Airex pad, and I actually use a little piece of 2x4. I just put my foot on a 2x4, toe up, heel down. You can, just think of anything that's sturdy and a little bit raised, and you can get this really nice hip mobility or ankle mobility. It actually helps your hip be mobile. Okay, now I'm going to drop my heel down, and I'm going to do a set of hip hinges from here. My hands are going to reach out over the chair in front of me. My hips go back, but they don't really go down, and then they squeeze forward. So I'm just creating work at this hinge, hinging back and down to a flat back and squeezing forward. Let's do a few more. I like to add that reach because it engages our shoulders and our postural muscles. Let's do a few more. Good, one more. And then lower down to the chair. Nice work. All right, so that is strengthening the shin, contracting and strengthening the calf, stretching and strengthening the calf. That's some really good work that'll help you with balance. But let's do it to the front as well. So I'm going to slide this back. If it were a 2x4, you pull it back. I'm going to turn this so it'll go under my chair a little. And now I'm going to put my heel up and my toes down. And that puts my ankle into plantar flexion. All right, and I want to do the same thing. I'm going to start with the arms of my chair. I'm going to come up. I'm going to squeeze my hips forward. And then I'm going to lower down. And what we want is the front of our ankle opening here. Up, squeeze forward, down. Up, hips squeeze forward and down. Give me one more. Up, hips squeeze forward and down. Come up, stay up. Okay, side glide the hips again. We have the ankle and plantar flexion, and we're exploring the motion then. We're side gliding. Okay, let's move that on to hula hoop hips. Ankles in plantar flexion, hula hoop hips. Good, reverse that. Good. And back down to the chair. All right, guys, I'm going to take that squishy surface away so that I'm on the flat ground. And I want to start to stretch now the front of the legs and the knees and strengthen our hamstring. All right, if I were going to do this seated, I would start to bend my knee and slide my foot back under the chair. I need my hips at the front of the chair, but I'm bending the knee and I'm sliding my foot back under the chair for one, to extend the front of the leg and open it, and my hamstrings contracting at the same time. Okay, now let's do that standing. You're gonna stand up with that chair in front of you for balance. You gotta step out a little so that you don't kick your chair. And these are butt kickers. And in butt kickers, your knee needs to point down towards the floor. This is an active stretch. Active because you're moving, and we're using that movement to lengthen the thigh and shorten the hamstring. All right, if this gets easy for you and you're ready for a bigger stretch, you're gonna put that foot on the chair behind you. And you're gonna just push forward so the front of your thigh is open. It's a really good progression. Your hands are on the chair to keep balance. Okay, let's switch. We're gonna bend the other knee. We're gonna put our foot on the chair behind us and squeeze our hips forward. Okay, let's switch again. We're gonna bend the knee and put that foot on the chair behind us, and we're gonna explore motion. I'm gonna rock my knee side to side in this stretch and get different angles of stretch through the quadricep and hip. Okay, let's switch. Put that foot on the chair behind you. And then start to rock the knee side to side, hitting different angles of the thigh. Beautiful. Bring that foot down. Go ahead and sit down on the chair behind you. Sometimes you've walked away from it when you did that butt kicker. I like for people to look back and make sure it's there, right? Just don't sit blindly. Okay, we're gonna advance it a little bit. Now, this one involves crawling onto a chair. So might not be for you, but you might be okay with it. So I'm gonna show it. Here comes your squishy surface again. So your knees feel safe. And then I come up and I put my knees onto the chair. I use the back for balance, and I squeeze my hips forward. This motion is very similar to a bridge. If you're on your bed and you were doing a hip lift, very similar. Okay, we're gonna climb off, put our hands back, sit down in the chair behind you. And then let's go again. Push up, one knee and then the other. And then we engage glutes forward. Good. Crawl down, reach back, lower down. Let's do one more. Push up, climb on, and squeeze. Good. Climb off and sit down. Now, I'm going to show you a more advanced stretch. Again, I do this with older residents all the time. Just make sure you want to get down. I'm going to put the pillow on the floor, and I'm going to transfer one knee to the floor and one foot stepping out of the hip diagonally. So this is gonna open my hip a little, and I'm gonna add a rocking motion here. I learned this stretch from, I don't know if anybody knows this, but PWR, which is Parkinson's Wellness Recovery. And this is a movement that they do with people with Parkinson's disease to help them keep their hips more mobile and be able to walk. Good, now let's explore the motion again. I want you to rock that knee side to side. And then I want you to switch legs. The other knee that we work down on that squishy surface, the other leg steps out diagonally, and we're just gonna rock in that diagonal plane, knee out over the toe and back, knee out over the toe and back. You're really gonna feel this in your inner thighs while still stretching the quadricep. Good, and then exploring that motion, you're gonna rock the knee side to side, side to side. Let's make it a little bit harder. Switch legs again. Now, I'm gonna rock out, and this time when I rock back, knee straight, toe up. See if I can tap the toe. Rock out, tap, rock out, tap, and that tap might be to the knee, shin, or toe, you choose. Do a few of those, and then come back to neutral and hula hoop the hip of the leg you're kneeling on. Remember to go both directions. Switch legs. Good, step the other leg out. We're gonna rock out diagonally. When we rock back, that knee is straight, my toe is up, and I'm gonna reach my hand towards that toe. Good, then I want you to come back to the start position and hula hoop the hip of the leg that you're kneeling on. Different angles. Switch directions with that hula hoop. Both knees under you. Now, right from here, we can go into some ankle mobility here. Point your toes back, sit back what you can. Come on up, toes tuck under, sit back what you can. Toes point back, sit back what you can. Toes tuck under, sit back what you can. All right, guys, we're getting ready to go back onto that chair. We're gonna step one leg out. We're gonna push off the seat of that chair and then push our hips back to the chair behind us. We're right back safely to where we started. All right, let's do neck yet. I'm gonna turn forward so you can see. I found this to be the most comfortable position to stretch your neck. I'm gonna take one arm and tuck it behind our back. So that's internal rotation. And my other hand is gonna cross over. So one tucks behind, one crosses over. Let's look side to side. Same arms, head comes back to the center. Nod your head, down, up, down, up. Same arms. Let's tip our head, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Good. Undo the arms. And we're going to twist them a few times. Sometimes that makes the arm that was behind you a little tingly. It's okay, you stretch the nerve. And then we twist them to take that tingly out. Okay, now whichever arm was not behind you, tuck it behind. The other arm crosses over, and you're going to start to turn your face side to side. Good. I want you to come back to the center. Arms stay the same. Nod your head down, up, down, up. Good. Arms stay the same. Ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Good. Head back to the center. We're going to undo those arms, and we're going to twist them a little if we got those tingly. All right, good work. All right, let me go ahead and see. What do you think? Is there any questions?
Not at this time, just nice comments that they enjoy it.
Okay, cool. All right. We've got what, like, is that about normal? Is that
Yep.
normal?
That's about normal.
All right, I'll review these real quick. Golden rule, whatever you do to the front, do to the back. Whatever you do to the left, do to the right. The stiff side gets one more. I didn't stop and do that tonight. If you're going through stretches by yourself, when one is more difficult, stop and feed that one more. So you can get symmetry. And then explore the motion. We did this a good bit tonight, where you rock side to side, rock front, back. Explore the motion. If you're in a pain cycle, I'd stretch several times a day. If you're not, a couple times a week will keep you going. That's it.
All right, we have another comment. This is excellent. Even with my poor physical condition, I was able to do most of these exercises.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
And I participated too. I was doing the exercises. So thank you. Good.
Yeah, those are like the major, the heavy hitters: piriformis muscle, quadricep, hamstring, calf muscle. Those really can trip you up pain-wise and keep you from walking well and not keeping your balance. So.
And then another question is flexibility more important than strength?
No, it's, they're equal, but however, you can't get full strength if you can't get full range. So the more full range of motion you get, like if you have a small range, you only have strength in that small range. So you have to get full range to be able to get full strength. They have to go together.
Okay.
I've had, my sister's a good example of this. My sister had some ankle problem and some calf problem, and she went to physical therapy, and she could get down on the floor, put her foot up towards the ceiling and pump her ankle. And she'd be like, man, I have full range of motion. And every time I try to walk, my calf still hurts. And I said, well, let's go ahead and do that with your body weight on it then. Because you got the full range of motion, great. Now you need the full range of motion with your body weight, because walking is body weight. So lower body especially, that's why I did the standing onto the AirX pad. It's really not going to change until your body weight applies through it.
And a question about body weight. So if you are overweight, that could possibly create knee pain and ankle pain because you're walking and carrying the weight.
Well, yeah, for sure. I forget what there's kind of a rule of, I forget what it is, but it's like 5 pounds more body weight is like 20 pounds more pressure to your knees to carry. So that's always, true. I feel like stretching and body weight exercises, if you're walking with that amount of weight, you need to be able to have the range of motion and the strength to carry that. Stretching's fairly gentle. But yeah, it's always good it's not like 1 pound of body weight is 1 pound more pressure to your knees. I believe it's times 5.
Okay.
Just not nice for your knees.
All right. I think that sums up the questions for tonight.
Cool. Fun questions.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
That was
welcome.
really good. We really enjoyed that. And this is able to, if you can view it again on the ACAP website. So anybody that enjoyed this exercise, you could log into the website and play it every day or every other day, whenever you want to exercise. It'll be there for your enjoyment as much as you want.
That's cool.
Yeah. So thank you. That was good.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Appreciate
Good to
your
see
time.
everyone.